Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Nick and Knarf. Hope you're doing well today. This is Nick. I'm Knarf. We're the two brothers who do this show. The original who started had to leave, so we replaced them.
Yep.
They are gone, but here we are. And we're here to share some great stuff with you. Today, one of my uber, super duper, I admire this artist so much. This is the great Joe Jackson.
Oh, get that straight, Frank. His real name is David Ian Jackson.
David Ian Jackson. Wow.
He got the name Joe because evidently when he was in a band called, I think, Arm and Legs. He evidently picked up the nickname Joe based on his perceived resemblance to the British television puppet character Joe 90.
Wow,
a genius child spy.
Well, he is a genius. This man is incredibly educated musically. Nick's going to tell you a little bit more about
Started out playing the violin, but really had a passion for playing piano. At the age of 16, started literally playing. He started playing in bars, and then he won a scholarship to attend the musical composition at London's Royal Academy of Music. So you got to be good to get accepted.
He's
at those
classically
kind of
trained. His music is diverse. There's early stuff that's just straight ahead rock and roll when he first started out. Really tight, alternative kind of new wave music. And his music evolved over his career to become much more sophisticated, nuanced, richer, and fuller. I love this guy so much. Not only do I have those two albums, but I got Night and Day. This is the one with Steppin Out on it. I love this one. This one's Blaze of Glory. Love that album. Laughter and Lust. I've got Big World, which is a great, great album. I got I'm the Man, another one of his early ones. And then I got a Greatest Hits album because to pick up songs I didn't have on the other ones. And I got Alive in New York, Joe Jackson. So I am a big Joe Jackson fan.
So he lived in New York for quite a while, but really got kind of pissed off because he's an avid smoker, or at least he was. And they started putting in these smoking bans. And he actually was, very active in the anti-smoking ban movement. And eventually got so pissed off, he moved back to Europe. And I think he currently lives in Berlin. He's my age, born in 54.
Yeah.
Born in August of 54. So I thought he was older than that, but he's not. And, I don't have the passion that Frank does for him, but I do like his style. Really
it's
good.
Great stuff. You're going to enjoy these two cuts. Where do I start? If I wanted to try to go, I was going from album to album thinking, what do I want to showcase? And I decided to do something early and then something a little later that's more representative of who he was starting to evolve with. Because early on, he was sort of pseudo-punk. This first album, Looksharp, which is a great album cover. I love those shoes. But this debut album was huge. He had the song we're going to play was Is She Really Going Out With Him? Has another hit song called Sunday Papers, which was a big, big song for him. Fools in Love, Look Sharp, One More Time, a whole bunch of great stuff off this debut album.
How many albums did you say he did?
He
20...
did from 1979 when he first debuted with Look Sharp to 2019. He's got, dig this, 18 studio albums, 8 live albums, 2 soundtrack albums, 16 compilation albums, 2 video albums, 60 singles, 25 of which charted. This man is a uber accomplished, an amazing artist, and just so talented. And you're gonna see how he evolved from this first album to this fourth album. Seventh album, Body and Soul, which came out in 1984. The first one came out in 79, 84. But anyhow, we're going to get into Joe Jackson with the 2 cuts for you, but before we do, I'd like to invite you, as always, please subscribe, like, and share if you haven't, if you like what you're going to hear today, and if you like it, please hit that like icon for us, and be sure if you do subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way, Nick will tell you, it'll get you notified on all of our content. And for those of you who have subscribed, you know how much we love you. We love you so much.
And for those of you that might be new, you might want to take a look back at some of our previous revisitations to different bands that I'm sure you've heard of, but we sometimes do some choice cuts. And sorry, sometimes my mic won't be working that well or whatever. But the point is, there's some great music that we've been bringing out.
You know, we've been doing this almost 2 years. We're coming close to our second anniversary, which we're so blessed to have been doing this. We enjoy it so much, and I'm so glad Nick wanted to keep doing this with me. We've got about 175 videos now. It's hard to believe, and we got a pretty good backlog of some great stuff. So be sure to check out our backlog. I'm sure there's other great music you're going to enjoy, but we are going to kick off today. Let's get into it right now. What do you say, Nicky?
Let's do it.
Okay, I know Nick knows this first song, but I'm not sure he knows the second one. So let's get into the first one. This is from the debut album from Joe Jackson from 1979's album Look Sharp. This is She Really Going Out With Him?
Walking with gorillas down my street. From my window I'm staring while my coffee goes cold. Look over there, there's a lady that I used to know. She's married now or engaged or something, so I'm told. Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? 'Cause if my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going wrong around here. Tonight's the night when I go to all the parties down my street. I wash my hair and I kid myself, I look real smooth. Look over there, here comes Jeannie with her new boyfriend. They say the looks don't count for much, so there goes your proof.
There goes your proof.
Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? 'Cause if my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going wrong around here. Around here. But if looks could kill, there's a man there who's more down as dead. 'Cause I've had my fill. Less than you. Take your hands from her head. I get so mean around this scene. Hey, hey, hey. Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home tonight? Is she really going out with him? 'Cause if my eyes don't deceive me, there's something going wrong around here. Around here. Something going wrong 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 around.
Okay.
What'd you think, Nicky?
You know, Dr. My Eyes, who
Like mine is Jackson Brown?
Jackson Brown. His singing reminds me of Jackson Brown.
Really?
Yeah, a lot.
Interesting.
I think he sounds a lot like him. I love this song. It's a great song. It's funny. It's really quirky. I just...
You know, he writes a lot of love songs that always talk about the foibles of being in love. Like he's got a song called Here Fools in Love. And he said there's a line from a song he did on a later album where he goes, love shows that God has a sense of humor. And he's always talking about the foibles of love. And And you could see that in this early album, there's a lot of raw, kind of more conventional subject matter, and it's musically treated more like I said, like a punk band or like a real simple, because it's just a guitar, drums, and for his first few albums, he kept the instrumentation very simple.
Pretty creative, though. I mean, and I like the fact that the first line is like certain amount of beats, and then the second line, is longer, and then he goes to the third line is back to the same beat as the first, and then, you know what I mean? It's like, 4/4 time, and then it goes to like 6/4 time on the second line.
Yes, he changes the time, and then, what's interesting is when he makes these changes in his songs, they go to interesting places. Like that middle shift isn't what you're expecting in that chorus in that middle. And that's the thing that marks his work. And what you're going to see if you listen to more of these albums later on as he evolves, the sophistication, the complexity, the richness, the layering he puts into songs, like this next one. I think you're really going to dig this one. But you're going to see, this is 6 albums later, okay? The 7th album, only 5 years later, but you could see him making leaps in the quality of his work. I mean, it's all great stuff. Whether we start from the simple stuff from Look Sharp or get into the later stuff of any of these albums. Of course, Steppin Out is right in between these two albums, off the album Night and Day, which is a magnificent album.
Like 82, I think?
82, I believe, 83. It's just so great. But, I mean, that really kind of pushed him into the superstardom, the Steppin Out. But I didn't want to play that one because everybody's heard Steppin Out.
Everybody's heard that one.
So this one you're really going to dig, but I'm going to have to stop the CD for a second to change it. So we're going to take a brief intermission, and we'll be right back, okay, with more Joe Jackson.
Be right back.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for your patience during the intermission. Now we are kicking it with another tremendous song from the great, great Joe Jackson. This is from his 7th studio album, Body and Soul. And you're going to see a real marked difference in the way this music on this album has evolved from the raw, straight-ahead, edgy rock of the first album, Look Sharp. But it's a terrific song with lots of orchestration and stuff. You're really going to dig it. It is called You Can't Get What You Want Till You Know What You Want. This is Joe Jackson. Here we go.
Sometimes you start feeling so lost and lonely. Then you find it's all been in your mind.
Okay.
Sometimes you
Steely
think
Dan-ish
someone
there.
is the one and only. Can't you see it could be you and me? But if there's any doubt, then I think I'll leave it out. So tell you one thing, you can't get what you want till you know what you want. Said you can't get what you want all you need is one thing. If it's right, you could sleep at night. It can take some time, but at least I'm here alive. 'Cause I tell you one thing, you can't get what you want till you know what you want. Said you can't get what you want till you know what you want. Tell you one thing, you can't get what you want. What you want. Tell you one thing, you can't get what you want. What you
Well, Nikki, what'd you think?
It's a nice jam session. I mean, he's like getting out there, that bass, boom, 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 boom. Oh, so
Talk
good.
about something completely different from that first song we heard. I mean, he's got elements of jazz, big band, R&B, a little bit of funk in the beat, the way it goes, but the horns add so much. I mean, it's a totally different construct, a wholly different mindset about how to approach his music.
My
you know?
gut tells me his parents probably listened to the big band stuff, because I too like big band a lot. I don't like a lot of music of the 50s, to be honest with you. The doo-wop, I've told you that before. But I love big band, and I can see how big band would have influenced him. Plus, studying in London, he probably was really into the orchestration. This was very creative. I mean, really creative.
Really tasty. I love that part. It goes, da-na, da-na, da. And that sort of goes, you know what you want, da-na, da-na. Those three chords that go down. And then that really lovely little harmony where it kind of takes this shift just before the chorus to can't get what you want. Just beautifully constructed. And like I said, when you get into these deeper albums, these little later albums, you get more and more of this amazing musicality that really starts manifesting with intelligent, clever lyrics. But he's a brilliant craftsman. I mean, God, like I said, I've got all these 9 albums are all outstanding that I've got here. And like I said, I could have picked 2 songs from each album to showcase what great stuff he does.
Yeah,
but
and like we've always said, I measure greatness by usually 5 great albums. That if a group put out 5 really great albums, they're iconic. Frank's saying, he's got 8, 9, 10 of these, so he's going to be counted in there.
He never resonated in a huge way to become like a super duper star, right? But he's got a solid following of people who admire the hell about what he does. And he's produced such great stuff for such a long time. And he's just one of the yeoman, hardworking guys who deserves so much more attention for his work.
One of the things that also I noticed in this song was that he didn't need his piano to be out in front.
No, not in
You
this
know what
song.
I mean? It was kind of like he was willing to defer that to the instrumentation. The bass, of course, which was nuts in this song. I love the bass. That bop, going up the scale was so good. I mean, that was really a great sound. But he didn't need to be, and I'm not saying Elton John has a big ego, but he didn't have to be like Elton John, because Elton John, his music is piano, and he'll play it really loud and it'll come out, and he's a beautiful pianist, so don't get me wrong. But he didn't need to have that way out in front to tell you the story of that song.
Yeah, no, it's just beautifully constructed. This album is really different from the earlier stuff, no doubt about it. A lot of orchestration and a lot of orchestral work in it. And I don't know if I said at the beginning it was called Night and Day. I might have confused it because this one has got 2 words too, body and soul, not Night and Day. Those are 2 titles that are different. So if I said that earlier, I'm sorry.
And I
This album is
loved
body and
him
soul.
in that movie Field of Dreams. You know, I could see why he has this affinity towards shoes. So,
Yeah, you got to look sharp. I mean, that's one thing I don't try to do because I
shoeless
know
Joe
I can't.
Jackson. Okay, come
Because
on.
I kid myself that I look real smooth. And
Where
I
are
don't.
we? We're in Iowa.
We're in Iowa. That's right. Get me out of here. No, I'm ready to be back. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed our 2 selections from the uber great Joe Jackson. You know, what is she really going out with
Did you guys
him?
see him in concert?
Can't get what you want.
Are you guys like crazy about him?
I've seen
Not
a
so
number of his
crazy
music
about him?
video performances on PBS and MTV, and it's just mesmerizing. So if you get a chance, check his catalog out. Look at MTV for his videos. He's just awesome stuff. But we hope you enjoyed it. And then again, before we go, I'd like to invite you one last time. Please subscribe, like, and share. We really appreciate your support. And for those of you who have, send our love out to
And
you all
don't
the time.
forget, come back and see us next time on Nick and Knarf.
Right. We'll see you next time. Ciao, babies. Peace out.
Signing off.